crowds roar in my veins, heartbeats matching glorious plains. Wrestle night through aches and pains, breaking chains and shaking reins. Let the crowds roar in my veins, heartbeats matching glorious plains. Wrestle night through aches and pains, breaking chains and shaking reins. LexxExpress is rolling bold in a world where dreams are sold. Champions rise, let tales be told. With a heart of fire, defenders go. Under spotlight we won't fall, hear the echoes of the call. Standing up and standing tall, through the highs and through the brawl. Under spotlight we won't fall, hear the echoes of the call. Standing up and standing tall, through the highs and through the brawl. From the ashes to the throne, with LexxExpress never alone. Destinies together sewn, with a path we've always known. LexxExpress is rolling bold in a world where dreams are sold. Champions rise, let tales be told. With a heart of fire, defenders go. Dreams are flying, LexxExpress keeps on driving. Forge a road that keeps me striving. In the rain where stars are rising. With the crowds roar in my veins, heartbeats matching glorious plains. Wrestle night through aches and pains, breaking chains and shaking reins. Let the crowds roar in my veins, heartbeats matching glorious plains. Wrestle night through aches and pains, breaking chains and shaking reins. LexxExpress is rolling bold in a world where dreams are sold. Champions rise, let tales be told. With a heart of fire, defenders go. Under spotlight we won't fall, hear the echoes of the call. Standing up and standing tall, through the highs and through the brawl. Under spotlight we won't fall, hear the echoes of the call. Standing up and standing tall, through the highs and through the brawl. From the ashes to the throne, with LexxExpress never alone. Destinies together sewn, with a path we've always known. LexxExpress is rolling bold in a world where dreams are sold.
All right. Sorry, I was enjoying the song. I gotta be honest with you guys. I was enjoying the song a little too much. Drinking my own Kool-Aid here. Bro, what a freaking stream we have to get into here today, man. We have an epic discussion going down right here, right now, man. I cannot wait to get into all the little details and, of course, my predictions and read what you guys have to say about some of the stuff that has been coming out thanks to 2K Games tweeting and, of course, teasing certain things that pretty much sets the record straight and hypes the entire community up. So, you guys, you saw my video and we talked about it, but let's circle back to the beginning of the discussion that we're going to have tonight. All right. This right here, Rhea Ripley getting interrupted by Dom Mysterio. Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Let me get the LA Knight. We pretty much have a confirmation here that intergender wrestling is making its way back to the franchise. We haven't had intergender wrestling in so long, and the community, while I don't care for it, the community has been asking for this feature back into the series. And look, the more the merrier, right? The more people are satisfied, the happier I am to see the community, glow and be excited for this WWE experience that we're going to be seeing this year. But before we get deeper into that intergender conversation, I think we owe Hip Hop Gamer an apology. If you guys don't know who Hip Hop Gamer is, that is, man, the voice of reason in all the chaos. He's the only person that up until this point has actually leaked and revealed real information that is tying into the real game that is getting announced January 28th. It is mind-blowing. So shout out to Hip Hop Gamer, because he's the one that broke the story on intergender wrestling, and now WWE Games has pretty much confirmed it. But that's not all. That's not all. Tomorrow morning, I will be releasing a more detailed video, right? Going straight to the point. But I gotta get into it right here, right now with you guys. Today, we saw another clip. The clips that they've been putting out, trying to hype up the game, trying to get everyone in the conversation. The Rhea, the Dom, Obafemi, some of the SmackDown superstars, some of the Raw superstars. Well, they dropped another video just like that, but this time it featured Jey Uso talking to the fans. Now, it looked like he was kind of stalling, and he was about to reveal some stuff, and he referenced the showcase. Now, referencing the showcase, right, having Jey do the honors to tease that, and have the Bloodline logo with the one up, that pretty much confirms not just the yeet, but the fact that the Bloodline is heavily involved in the showcase, which is another feature that was revealed by Hip Hop Gamer. So right now, Hip Hop Gamer is 2 for 2, and not that we didn't see the Bloodline stuff. Obviously, the Bloodline stuff was pretty much confirmed the moment we saw Roman Reigns tease the cover, and we saw Steam reveal the cover early. Yeah, Roman is on the cover, so they're going to tie in the showcase to Roman, and Roman is the leader of the Bloodline, so that means that we're getting the Bloodline showcase. All right, so not a hard guess to make, but definitely another feature that has been now confirmed, which was revealed / leaked by Hip Hop Gamer. So shout out to him once again. And now that leaves us with another conversation that we're going to deep dive in here later on today in the stream. We got to take the L, man. As a community, we got to take an L, because he was talking about the WWE game getting a city-like experience, and it seems like we're gonna see a tease real soon for the city. Now, it may not be identical to the NBA city. I don't expect for it to be identical to the NBA city. You know why? Because the NBA city first started as a neighborhood, then expanded on Next Gen to the city, and when they did the city, it still evolved through time, and this is the first time that we're going to see something similar. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It ain't real until it is mentioned by WWE Games, but if this is the first time we see the city, then it's going to be the first of its kind in a wrestling game. So I don't expect for it to be going toe-to-toe with the NBA experience. So some similarities, yes. The idea of what it's supposed to be like could be very similar, yes, but it's definitely going to be its own thing over on WWE 2k25 if they end up confirming it. Keep in mind, they have to confirm it before we could really get deep into this conversation, or deeper into this conversation, because right now this is all pure speculation. But another thing that I want to call out the community for real quick is everyone was trying to come at me, not everyone, but a lot of people were trying to come at me real quick because I said that Liv Morgan was confirmed to be on the deluxe edition at this point. And I said that she was not heavily, but rather that she would be involved in the marketing going forward. And in today's video that we saw Jey Uso in, we also saw Liv Morgan interrupt Jey Uso. So like we saw Dirty Dom interrupt Rhea Ripley, we saw Liv interrupt Jey. Now they're connecting all these superstars because they're the ones marketing the game. They're the ones that are going to be advertising the game. All right? So it pretty much confirms and doubles down on the fact that Liv Morgan is featured heavily heading into 2K25. And I think that it may be a combo artwork with Dominic Mysterio. That's what I think. It's not a basketball mode. Ace is more than a basketball mode. It has to be said. Why are we excited about a basketball mode? It's a concept that was born in a basketball game, but if you go way back to the SmackDown series, where you could walk backstage, go into locker rooms, go do side quests, set up tag matches, set up matches, and do storylines, that was pretty much a city of its own in a backstage area, okay? Obviously, you couldn't walk down the street, you couldn't go to different places, but it still had that city-like charm where you can interact with superstars, NPCs, right? And, you know, reply to them a certain way and set up certain things to enjoy the mode. So, yes, Golden Star said it best. It's more like a Sims mode. If you guys never played The Sims, it's a game where you get to simulate real life and you create people and just do things around town. So, that's what they're doing here, it seems. And again, let me say this very loud and clear. If we don't get the city, it's okay. I'm fine with it. But if we do, then damn, this dude swung 100% because he ended up hitting the nail on the coffin announcing the intergender stuff, which is confirmed already at this point. The Bloodline's involvement in the showcase, which is pretty much confirmed at this point. And, you know, this is just another one of those things that we just gotta wait and see. I'm fine with whatever as long as it's pushing the boundaries and the creative experience. Yeah, walk around chatting with people, bro. SmackDown, show your mouth, and here comes the pain. Had a city. Exactly. This is not the first time that we've seen something similar in a WWE game. So if they're able to combine what we saw in the past in those SmackDown games and put it into the modern day gaming experience like we've seen in NBA 2K, then it could be something that we are all very much gonna enjoy. People are saying, oh, it's an NBA, like Ace talking about it being an NBA thing. That has got to be a brain dead comment because it's not a basketball mode. It's a life mode. It's a hangout. It's a social experience. It's an avatar alternate reality. It's not just for NBA. It's not just for basketball. It's more than that. And the fact that you're missing the point of what this could be is exactly my frustration with the community when we have these discussions. Why are we against something we have no idea if it's real or not? Why are we against an idea that could start this creative progress into something much better than we've seen in the past? WWE 2k22 started off right. 23 added to it. 24 was even better. And if 25 ends up packing just part of what the rumors have shown, then it's going to be arguably the best wrestling game of this generation without a shadow of a doubt. And you know what? It's okay to say that. I don't want it to be better than Here Comes the Pain or, you know, It doesn't have to be, bro. It needs to be better than what we've played in recent time. And it's okay to, think outside the box. We don't need to continue to make the same game and the same blueprint. And a lot of people are saying, oh, yeah, but the servers are trash. Oh, yeah, but the game is broken. Dude, are you kidding me? This is the start of something special. Why are we not celebrating it? I don't know if you guys were here for that stream a couple weeks ago or even a couple days ago. I reiterated the fact that I am tired of them being held back by budget or ideas that just don't translate well or that they don't put into the game at the end of the day. I want them to think outside the box. I want them to start creating things that are more of a innovative experience versus a carbon copy of what we've seen in the past. And yes, servers should be a priority, and from what we've seen, have been a priority this off season between 24 and 25, because last year they actually hired and were looking for people to work on the servers, to work on the multiplayer experience, online only. So the fact that they put out that post, and we've been talking about that post, I think we can now tie it into what's been going on here. You want a professional wrestling game? Dude, you don't know what you want. You don't know what you're talking about. If we get the servers right and it starts up this new foundation for the future wrestling games, I am going to be ecstatic, because they haven't been able to figure out the server issues. For whatever reason, it's been crippled with community creation problems. It's been crippled by connectivity issues. If they manage to deliver good servers here with a brand spanking new mode, and let's face it, we don't even know if that mode is going to be online all the time. We don't know how the mode is going to play out. So how are we going to be negative about a mode that has all the potential in the world? Are you kidding me? This is like, you want them to make a different game. You want them to make the game better and innovative. And then they're going to do that and you're going to bash them? That makes no sense. I don't get it. No, I know what I want. A city mode isn't one of them. City mode was never requested in past forums from the fan base. That's a fact, because no one is thinking that far ahead. And that's why I'm giving them all the credit in the world for adding something that's potentially going to be better than what we could have hoped for. It's because we thought it could never be done. Exactly what RVD said. The only reason why we haven't gone this far to consider the possibility of these kinds of add-ons is because we didn't think that they were possible. How about a game that works 100%? Might as well turn off your console, because there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a game working 100%. Do I think WWE is going to look like My Sims? No. But y'all think about it. Like this, it will be great for some, bad for others. But guess what? Haters going to hate. I'm still getting arrested. Yes, exactly. I mean, look. It doesn't have to be for everyone. It's the same case with everything else that we talk about here all the time in wrestling. Some people like Drew McIntyre, others don't. Some people love CM Punk, others don't. Some people love Dominic Mysterio, many more don't. Some people watch WWE, some people watch AEW, some people watch TNA, some people, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be where every single person agrees that this is something that they wanted and this is something that's good. It doesn't matter what you think. What matters is the developers constantly evolving and trying to make something better than they have in the past. That's what I ask for personally. They could do whatever they want, right? And I'll see if I like it or not. But I gotta see it for myself before I sit here and I criticize it for something that it hasn't even shown out for it to be, you know, it's just mind-boggling. And right now, it's just Ace talking crap, and if the mode ends up being good, he's going to end up filling his mouth with a bunch of garbage because, let's face it, we just don't know what it'll be. You wish there were more updates? The thing is that they rely on the community to upload the attires, to upload the arenas, to keep the game fresh for gamers. That's really what it is. We're never going to get something for free like that where we're going to get roster updates outside of DLC or fix online then. I mean, that's obviously going to be part of the biggest overhaul, right? It's technically not a basketball mode. I mean, from my perspective, when I think open world or free roam, I think of it just being an expanded free roam experience like the old WWE games had. Thank you, Hawk. That's putting it into perspective. Exactly my point here. Hold on, who's hating? I'm just saying, where's the other priorities being set? Why are we breaking news on something no one asked for? Whatever happened to fixing the game from within? Who said they're not doing that, though? Who said they don't have a separate team working on this? Who said that they can't multitask? Who said that they haven't invested into servers? Who said anything otherwise? You're just talking just to talk. Because we don't know whether, one, this is true, or two, if they don't have, you know, if they have teams and other people working on different stuff. You know, shut your mouth. By the way, I ordered... Where's my phone? Where's my phone? I do have some breaking news on Shut Your Mouth. See, Lex, go back to what you said. Not big on intergender match, but you're not going to make it a big deal, right? Oh, exactly. I don't care about We could talk about that. I don't, like, dude, I don't give a crap about intergender wrestling. Like, not one bit. I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I'll use it for some videos to use it as a case in point in the backdrop. But for me personally and my joy, I am not interested at all to play that. So Here Comes the Pain is too expensive, and I'm not going to pick that up anytime soon. It's going for like about $40 to $50 base price with the case. But I did pick up Shut Your Mouth. This is the picture from the eBay post. I'm going to be getting it on Friday. So I'm projecting that maybe over the weekend or next week, I stream SmackDown Shut Your Mouth for the very first time ever. And the best part is that while I was doing research on Shut Your Mouth, I actually jumped from Just Bring It to Here Comes the Pain when I played it with my cousin. And I remember playing other SmackDown titles, but I don't really remember Shut Your Mouth all like that. So this is the actual case I'm going to be receiving. And that's not all, folks. Let me show you how nice. I actually bought a bundle. That's the bundle I purchased. It comes with SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, SmackDown 2 on PlayStation 1, and it also comes with Backyard Wrestling 1. It's the first game that ever came out for Backyard Wrestling. There's 2 of those, and I got the first one. So I got 2 PS2 games and 1 PlayStation 1 game, and this was so cheap. This was literally just $17. $17 for 3 games. And the best part about it is that SmackDown 2 by itself costs $10 without the case. Now, when you buy these games with a case, they cost a lot more money. So Shut Your Mouth, I don't even know how I found this post, honestly. It was by luck. This post comes with Shut Your Mouth with its original packaging. And that alone is worth like about $15, $17. Just that alone. So, yeah, these 3 games I'll be playing and streaming in the Retro Rewind. I am excited, man. I am really excited to play Shut Your Mouth, as well as revisiting some of these older titles. What up, Brian? What up, Brian? We got Brian in the cut. Where you at, man? I was waiting for you to hit me up. You ain't hit me up. I said, you know what? We going live. Nah, I had the live schedule, but I was thinking about rescheduling if we were gonna put in some work, but you ain't hit me up, so I said, you know what? We ain't cooking. If y'all want the Inferno match, look, when it comes to all the stuff that we've been reading, I just want to see how it's gonna play out. And what Ghost said earlier, I don't care for intergender. I really genuinely don't care for intergender. Intergender is not anything I ever asked for. It just doesn't even make my desk in terms of things that I'm excited for. Like, there's no list in my brain that has intergender wrestling as something I want to enjoy. I just, yeah. You've been playing 2K14. It's fun to play. Yeah, 14 is awesome. I'm going to be doing a pretty epic video once I get that package. I wanted to share it with you guys, but once I get that package, I'm going to do an epic video. I'm going to show you the games I have on 360, Xbox, PS2, and PlayStation 1 all in one video. I'm going to talk about each game a little bit, and I'm also going to tell you about some of the games that I'm looking forward to get that I have on my list. I made a full-blown list, man. Let me show you guys. Hold on. I know we have so much to get into for the WWE 2k25 news, but I'm sharing this news too because I'm looking forward to doing the retro rewind. So I pretty much listed all the wrestling games that ever came out between PlayStation, Xbox, Xbox 360, and PS2. The ones that are highlighted are the ones that I'm prioritizing. There's a bunch there that I still want to get, but there's a few other ones that I want to look at. Like there's like 3 WCW games that I want to get. There's a couple WWF ones I want to get. ECW has some. There's some Legend games there. So I'm looking into those games down the road, but not anytime soon. I already got the games that I wanted to start off the Retro Rewind series for 2025, because in 2024 and 23, you guys saw me play 2K14. You saw me play 19. I don't remember if I played 20 on stream. I probably played it for a little bit and didn't really care too much. I deleted it right away. But I played 17, 18, 16, 14, 15 I'm going to be playing. I actually picked up 15 for 360. I showed you guys that one recently. So I've been picking up all these games in the past couple years, and I'm slowly building up the collection. Lex, am I right or wrong? Look, Ace, in your own mind, in your own heart, you are right to feel how you want to feel. Yeah, I love No Mercy. I thought it was amazing when I played it, but the problem with the N64 is that I don't have an N64 right now. I would have to cough up another $70, $80, and then I would have to cough up probably some adapter for it, and then a controller. So way too much money. I'm happy with my PS2 that I just recently picked up, and I'm happy with all the wrestling games that I'm adding right now for the PS2 collection, so, and PlayStation collection overall. So I'm happy with that. But again, it's one of those things where I'm like, let them add whatever they want to add, like from a creation standpoint. I don't even need for this game to have a city. I just want good servers. Now you give me free roam, which, let's be honest, Ace and anyone else in the chat, yeah, All-Stars. I gotta get WWE All-Stars for 360. I'll be getting that one. But that one's going for like 20, 30 bucks. So that's gonna be in the back burner. I'm trying to get as much as I can when I see some sales and deals. If I see a sale for it, I'm gonna jump on it. But I'm not willing to pay more than like 15 bucks for these wrestling games because, you know, the new ones are just on a whole nother level. But I wanted a PS2. I wanted to have the original. I got you know, I got the setup for it, so I wanted the original. I don't want to play the emulators. I don't want to install that shit on my computer, and yeah, I don't care to do any of that rigged stuff. I want to have it for my collection to put it on my shelf with all my other nice ones. So yeah, Ace, you could feel however you want, but we don't have any information, bro. We don't have any information on it. So let's wait and see what it has to offer. Now, you ask me, Lex, well, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? Well, for a long time, I asked for a mode like My Faction. Now, don't roast me, don't grill me. I know My Faction hasn't been what I thought it was gonna be, and I accepted that when I saw how bad it was. but I did want a card collecting fantasy mode that you build up a faction of sorts, or even just a brand. I thought, for me, when I thought about my faction and I talked about it in 22, I said I would like for them to do a mode that you build a brand with a small roster and you got to collect the cards. It wasn't my idea. I can't say it was my idea, Golden Star, but I come from the game modes that are similar in NBA, MLB, and NFL. So I'm used to building collections that are digital, and having that everlasting updated grind, and those things is pretty much what I wanted to see, something similar in 2K. But the way that they did this WWE My Faction, it was just bad from the start, and it's gotten worse with the money hungry stuff. So if they could shift their attention to a more balanced experience and they could give us some more options, I'll be happy with My Faction down the road. But right now there's a lot of work that needs to go into My Faction for me to give it my thumbs up and recommend it to you guys, because right now it's like, don't play it. Don't even waste your time. So, outside of My Faction, which has already been done and has been worked on, I really wanted My GM. They gave us that since 22, but My GM, I wanted it to be more flexible, more customizable, and just a different experience than what we've had as well, because it's been okay. But Triple H is giving you some task, and if you don't do it, you don't get the extra points. I don't like the roles that superstars have. I know you could change it and customize that a little bit, but I still feel like it's kind of capped off. There's a lot of matches that are missing. The 2-night WrestleManias are missing. It just feels like a mode that really needs to get modernized, even though the foundation of it was great. So My GM and My Faction were two that I really, really wanted. Now, within that, I really wanted to have a revamped online experience. I thought that in 2025, and in previous years, we should have already had by now My GM and Universe mode with friends on a multiplayer level. The fact that we haven't gotten those major, co-op modes with friends online is just a travesty. It breaks my heart. It makes me feel annoyed. And then don't even get me started on the online servers. The online servers have just been catastrophic for far too long, and it's about damn time that we start seeing some changes, man. So if they're able to revamp that with the servers being the foundation of all the changes that are to come, I'm open, man. I'm open to the idea of a city, of adding intergender. I don't care. Add whatever you want. Just please, 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 please make the servers better. And I think that if they're bold and willing and ready to add a game mode that offers free roam and could give you a similar online experience to the city, then by all means the servers had to have been worked on a lot. So keep in mind too that the city doesn't have to be like the one that's made for NBA. Hip Hop Gamer will go down in the history books as the person that leaked and broke the story, but you gotta keep it real. Maybe it's not a city experience like NBA, but rather a free roam experience with little elements from that, I think that it'll be more of a wrestling grounded backstage, arriving to maybe an arena, to walking to the performance center, and maybe doing some quests and challenges. It'll keep you coming back. And if they're able to integrate online with multiplayer, social connecting stuff, then that experience on its own will feel special, because the online level, like just everything that they've done so far, has gotten further and further and further away from what we saw during the Xbox 360 and PS3 days. It wasn't that long ago, at least to me, that I felt that online should have been a priority for a wrestling game. And we saw these wrestling games that had cool leaderboards with name cards that you could earn and unlock, with, going up the leaderboards with point systems and things that mattered, and it gave it meaning. I've mentioned this so many times, but in 2008, you were able to create a title and defend it online, and the more you defended and retained it, the more value the title got. It was historic. It was awesome. It was enjoyable. And it didn't even have all that crazy amount of things to do online, but it had just enough for us to satisfy our experience with our friends. Now, when you look at these older wrestling games, I've been playing lately. I have it here on the PlayStation. I was actually playing it right before I went live, believe it or not. While you guys were there waiting in the lobby and I was chatting with you guys, I popped it in to have a little match real quick because I was testing out a different connection for my PlayStation. But I was playing WWF Warzone over on my PlayStation with Stone Cold on the cover. You see him right there? So that game didn't have nowhere near half or a fraction of what these newer games have. The roster was very limited. The moveset was limited. Hell, title matches were part of a challenge mode. It was just a very different time and place for gaming, and I understand that. But what made those games so special, it was going through the difficulty of unlocking and beating the computer, and then also sharing that with your friends and family. When you had, your friends come over, or you used to visit them, or your cousins, or your brothers or sisters, or whoever you ever played with, that made those games very good. It made the lifespan of those games last for so many years. A lot of people don't even know what that looks like in this day and age because we live in a different time and a different era, but we could have connected through the internet, through the multiplayer sessions, and we haven't been able to do that. So when I sit here and discuss the future of the series, I think the future comes down to connecting and interacting with people. And it doesn't have to be for ranked matches because, let's face it, I don't want to go online and be in a sweaty ass wrestling match every single night. That's not fun. And that's why a lot of people don't want to play online. So I'll say it. I know that's the reason why people don't want to play online. They don't want that smoke. But, just because they're announcing intergender wrestling, as you see there with the tweet and Dom and all that, just because they're talking and teasing that, it doesn't mean that I can't be excited for what the game has in store, right? It's not something I personally want. It's not something I personally asked for, but it is something that the community will rejoice with. And I feel like, hey, if they're giving me Oba Femi, if they're giving me better entrances, if they're giving me better servers, if they're giving me free roam, if they're giving me updated, game modes, then by all means, give me everything that you want to put in, including the Bloodline Showcase. A lot of people don't care about the Showcase. I love the Showcase. I love playing through the Showcase, and I play it multiple times because I have the game on PC. I beat it on PC. I have the game on 360. I beat it on 360. And then I get it on sale, or I get it for the PS Plus membership, whatever, and I beat it on PlayStation. So I enjoy playing the Showcase. It's something that's part of my calling in terms of playing through a story and feeling like you're successfully unlocking things. And to me, that's a much funner and better grind than buying packs, than doing the same thing repeatedly over and over and over. I'd rather play through cutscenes and something that connects with me versus just grinding to grind just to get a card, just to, you know what I'm saying? So I just hope that at the end of the day, if it's something that ends up being similar to the NBA stuff, it's going to come with better servers. So I'm happy. No matter how the city turns out, if the servers are better, great. After 23 and 24, they really need to fix it. Yeah, I feel like 22 was pretty stable. Well, more stable than it has been because it still had issues. But 22 was pretty all right. 23 was bad. I'm talking about the servers, by the way, not the actual game. 23 fell off, but 24 is just rock bottom, literally. Grace finally coming to WWE? You talking about Jordan Grace? Back in the day, I didn't care how limited the molds were. I just wanted to whoop ass. Exactly, bro. That's why I still play exhibition matches till this day. I think we're getting The Rock on the standard edition. Nah, the standard edition has to be Roman, man. But you're right. I mean, if they flip-flop it and put Roman on the deluxe, that wouldn't be so bad either. What if the city mode is part of WWE ID with the thing they're doing? Nah, I don't think it's going to go that deep. I don't want to play online because I'm not going up against a 99 overall my player who want to spam all day. Yeah, but that's why you got to regulate and do your own lobby and filter through. You're going to be honest, the old games will always be much better and they can't complain. Why? Why? I can't explain why besides the fact that the developers cared more about the audience. I don't think that's true. I think the developers do care about the audience. And you could say that all you want from a nostalgic point of view, but I gotta be honest with you. This is me talking to you in real time. I just put in on my Xbox WWF Raw. WWF Raw came out in 2002, and that was around the same time that SmackDown was coming out on PlayStation. That was after No Mercy. And that was after all these games that had some cool, innovative things. And we were starting to see what the future was going to look like in wrestling games. WWF Raw came out full-blown price with not only a limited roster, very limited game modes. There's literally a mode called Title Match. There's another mode called King of the Ring. And there's Exhibition. That's it. There's no story. There's no backstage. There's none of that. WWF Raw 2, I haven't played recently, so I have to see how that one is. But I'm talking about WWF Raw. WWF Warzone, very limited. There's one mode called Challenge Mode, Exhibition. It's not even Exhibition. It's called Versus. Attitude was similar to that one. But yeah, but then there's the exceptions with No Mercy. Some of the WCW engine got meshed with the WWF engine with THQ when they were doing it. But, you know, I think it was just a different time. We approached games in a different way. And then there was those big games that came out. Here Comes the Pain, Just Bring It, Shut Your Mouth. They went on a nice little run of consistent development. But they also released along the way a lot of random trash that people didn't enjoy afterwards. But during that time, it wasn't trash. It wasn't bad. It was actually a ton of fun. And I didn't care how limited it was. I didn't care that the graphics weren't, you know, to this extent. I thought the graphics were always really good, so. The games of these days won't be remastered or renewed. We actually already have renewed and remastered games from recent time. It's all been monopolized. Well, yeah, gaming in general has been monopolized. That's definitely been the case with gaming as a whole. They've tried finding creative ways to make money post-launch with everything else. What up, Ant? How's it going? Just like NBA 13, got your online 3v3. I missed that game because all you did was just play ball. Yeah, you're right. Back then, especially with some of those games that I'm talking about that were more limited, it was pretty much cut, dry, straight to the point. Just like I gotta be honest with you guys. Yo, chat, wake up. Wake up, man. We only got 48 likes, chat. Get up, man. We gotta get in there like the people's champ, The Rock. Let's get them likes up. Let's cross 60 likes. I know we could do it. I know we could do it, man. Let's have a little like train. Come on, let's get on that like train. Come on, come on. I know we could do it. I know we could do it. Let's get it, man. We have over 80 people in the building, and we're not even at 60 likes. I got to bring some acknowledgement to that.
Acknowledge me.
All right. Enough of the hype. Enough of the hype. We're getting there. We're 5 likes away. I wanted you guys to wake up, man. I feel like you guys are coming in. You're not even like, you know, interacting with the stream. What's going on? Thank you, Ant. Thank you. Imagine city mode just ends up being you going to the gym to earn VC. I don't think it's just going to be like that. Look, I don't have a problem earning in-game currency. I really don't. In-game currency has been a thing for years, but it's just the way you exploit it overall. The difference now is the internet. People are negative online. Oh yeah, no. I mean, everything is definitely looked under a microscope. People be stingy on the likes these days, like it hurts. Oh yeah, some. Thank you guys. By the way, hold on. Let me give y'all a shout out. We got to 62 likes in no time. I appreciate it. The monopolization of the sports and sports entertainment has hurt us gamers. Nah, but it's not just sports titles. It's happened in every single game. It's happened in racing games. It's happened in just a lot of games in general. So, thank you guys for dropping the likes and for stopping by. Most importantly, to stop by and chop it up here, having a good time talking about 2K25. Greedy ass companies. Well, look, this is something that you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear this, but I'll be that guy, and I'll be the bad guy in this conversation just to play devil's advocate with what we're discussing here. Now, before gaming is a business, Ant put it there. Listen closely to what I'm about to say. Listen closely to what I'm about to say. I don't agree with these tactics. I don't agree with abusing the fan base, the consumers, and everyone that's willing to spend any kind of dollars. What up, Witty? But listen up. I told you that Raw in 2002, WWF Warzone in 1990 something, those games all cost 50 to 60, and even other games within that same time and space cost beyond that. Okay? You could look it up. You could literally Google a Black Friday ad from Nintendo 64, which was in the 90s, and they had games costing $60+. That was back then, where games were made on a cartridge, a plastic, right? It was a cartridge, and it was on a memory card, and it was basic, and it was simple, and the coding and the development cycle of the game was complicated for some games, but a lot of the games had rinse and repeat, and they would get away with murder with graphics looking very blocky, very choppy, and it had a buttload of glitches. Back then, games were much more prone to glitches not getting fixed because of the updates that we get to see nowadays to fix up the games. So what I'm trying to say is, what up, Super Saiyan? Back then, in the late 90s, mid 90s and all that, and the early 2000s and all that, we saw games that were still costing around $60+, $50+. Yeah, we saw $50+ as well. Yes, games went on sale like they do now. But everyone loves to focus on the fact that when the game launches now in 2025 or 2024, games are costing $70. But people don't realize that those same games that are costing $70, you could get it on sale in just a month. You'll be able to buy that same game for like $50. And if you wait more than a month or two, you'll be able to save it and get for $45. And if you wait till Black Friday, you'll be able to get it for like $30, $35 for half off. You'll be able to buy two, get one 50% off. You'll be able to buy two, get one free. My point is that there are more marketing strategies now with more sales than ever and more accessibility. When my parents used to get us games and we were kids, they didn't know. They would just go to the store and buy the game whenever they could afford it and whenever they could get it for us. It wasn't like they were waiting to see it on a magazine or go online and look for an ad that revealed that the game wasn't $70 anymore. You have the option to pick and choose when you want to buy the game. But people fear of missing out, of getting things spoiled, about, it's definitely a feeling that people have that they're just impatient. So that's the crazy part. It's more about the money than the product. That's not the case, dude. You gotta understand, the whole reason I'm talking about this in the first place is that games now are costing way I can't exaggerate that anymore longer than I did, but it costs way more to make a game in this day and age, and under the scrutiny and the microscope of social media. People are losing their jobs left and right in the gaming industry like there's no tomorrow. No one's safe. People are getting fired like crazy. The gaming industry has been wild when it comes to people losing their jobs. And the games with how it, this isn't an opinion, these are facts. You could look up the prices of games back then and how much it cost to make a game back then versus how much it costs and how long the development cycle of a game is in this day and age. Games costing in this day and age the same that they cost back then is pretty wild. It means that they're not making enough money that justifies the millions of dollars that go into the brand. So therefore, they've had to find creative ways post-launch with DLC, and nowadays you got to spend bare minimum about $100 to get the ultimate experience in a game, and that's just to kind of equalize what it is. Which is awesome. We don't agree but respect each other. But there's nothing to agree or disagree here. There's no argument here. At the end of the day, games are costing right now what they still cost back then. If you don't include the monopoly and you don't include opening packs and all the extra in-game incentive to spend money. If you talk about the base game for $60, $70, there's even some older games that have gone for $50, depending on how big the AAA studio is. If it's a smaller studio, they tend to price it at a reasonable 50, 60 in comparison to the 70, 80, 100 or whatever. So if you're charging the same price for a game in 2025 that you did in the year 2000 or 1998, that's mind-blowing. That's mind-blowing. I mean, to be frank, gaming has had a boom. There is a lot of gamers out there, but I don't know if charging $60, $70 is enough for the companies to get back what they put into the game and the developers. And that's why a lot of creators within the gaming world are underpaid, undervalued, and they're pushed. A lot of people lose their families making video games, believe it or not, because they're in the office spending overtime trying to get these games right, and they still come out with bugs and people still complain, and it's crazy. Let me see. I'm gonna look up that picture I'm talking to you guys about. Look at how fast I found it. Now these consoles were cheaper at this time. This ad is from Toys R Us, and they are putting some games on sale, so keep that in mind. But this isn't a matter of opinion. This is a matter of facts. Fact of the matter is, Star Wars, right there in the middle, shadow of some crap, that Star Wars game is $70. Let that sink in. NBA Live was $50, and this is a sale that Toys R Us had. Mario Kart was $60. Look at that other game to the left. I forgot. I can't tell what it's called right now. This is from over 25 years ago. NHL was $50. Again, this is a sale they had going on in this ad. Yeah, Super Nintendo games were $80 as well. Games were priced varying. Turok, $75. Gretzky's 3D Hockey, $75. Doom 64, $75. Need for Speed 2 on PlayStation, $50. Look at that Die Hard game, $55. Look at how expensive these games were. And again, some of these games were old at that moment in time, and some of these games were on sale in this ad. That's why they have, look at how old the Sega Genesis was already outdated at this point, and they were on sale for $20. These were old games that were outdated. Super Nintendo games were still going for $20. And again, these are games that were on, look, a game based on a movie, $55. Yeah, but these games didn't get updated, which is exactly my point. So these games cost way more money. A lot of them had bugs. A lot of them would have issues with the level design. Your characters could get stuck. you'd have to restart a mission or even go back to another checkpoint just to try to get past something that glitched. These games were filled with bugs just like they were now. Now, they did test them, and they did have a dedicated team to do that. Saves getting erased was more of a console issue, but that happened as well. A lot of people would have to replay the game. You know, so I'm not justifying the fact that games are monopolized. I'm not justifying the fact that games are costing an arm and a leg to get the full experience. But when you do a little digging, again, this is not just my opinion. This is just the state of the industry and what it's been. How the hell are games now in 2025 still costing $60 and $70 for a base price if these games back then at launch was costing $60 and $70 for base price? Even $75, like, come on, guys. That to me is just, when I found that ad I found it so long ago. And when I found that ad, I immediately shut the hell up. All right, but guys, Brian, you're adding more to my point than taking away from it. The whole point that microtransactions exist is because they cannot charge you for one video game $100 at a base price and justify the purchase. They're giving you a game that's essentially a live service that's getting updated through the years. Now, if you get a yearly title, obviously after about a year or 10 months or so, they cut it off. But of course you got to compare the times, because the reason why microtransactions exist is because of this. That's literally my point. Microtransactions were created because of this, because the games are still cheap in comparison to what they've always been. But you know what has changed dramatically? Minimum wage has changed dramatically. How much these developers get paid has changed dramatically. How much the CEO of these companies get paid has changed dramatically. The cost of marketing has changed dramatically. Everything that goes behind making a game in this day and age has changed dramatically, except the base price of the game. Let that sink in. How can you justify a game back then costing $75? Oh, but they didn't get updated. They didn't have microtransactions. Of course. So those games came off rip with bugs that people played through. They would even do Game of the Year editions with refreshers. They would even do re-releases and different versions of those games. No, this isn't an opinion, bro. This is a fact. I'm not sharing my opinion. My opinion is that it stinks that games now are leaning into microtransactions. That's my opinion. Some games today are like movies. Oh my goodness. It's ridiculous. You can look up the price. Let me see. Let me look up how much that Star Wars game that flopped. Star Wars Outlaws. I think that flopped financially. I'm gonna look up the budget of that game. It's estimated that the budget for Star Wars Outlaws development, licensing, and marketing is between $200 to $300 million. This isn't perception, bro. These are facts. $300 million to make a game that people refuse to pay for at launch, $70. And guess what? They had to put it on sale, and that game sucked. Yeah, you haven't even played it. How would you know? 300, and that's not the end of it. I could go down a list and look for other games that cost a lot of money, bro. How much you think Call of Duty costs? How much you think Call of Duty costs? Let's see if the numbers are out for Call of Duty already. Even though Call of Duty has been successful, but they put it on Game Pass. The budget for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is reportedly $700 million. $700 million. That is not an opinion. That is not perspective. That is a fact. Games today are costing more. Grand Theft Auto 6 They're saying that it's going to be $1 billion. $1 billion to make Grand Theft Auto 6. $1 billion to make a video game. And that game is gonna be filled to the teeth with microtransactions to make that money back in the near future. Because guess what Grand Theft Auto's gonna do? They're gonna launch on console. Once the next console comes out, they're gonna remaster it for the next console. You're gonna be able to upgrade it for a fee. They're also gonna launch it on PC. And they're going to continue to make money off of that brand any way they can to recuperate and profit off of the $1 billion. Now, I will say this. That $1 billion price tag is an investment that they put and doubled down on their game from all the money they made on GTA 5. Everyone that was making fun of GTA 5 for being out for more than 10 years, let's look at how much GTA 5 cost. I remember GTA 5, they've poured a ton of money and a ton of energy into GTA 5. Analysts estimate they placed the game development and marketing for GTA 5 at $265 million. $265 million for GTA 5 that came out when? In 2013. (2013) is when GTA 5 came out. Come on, bro. The numbers for these games, the budget is, oh my god, bro, it makes you want to vomit. Now, you want to know my perspective and my opinion? Because those are facts. Those are facts that you could easily look up. My opinion and my perspective is that it is garbage that the consumers have to buy a game at a high rate of $70+ In this case with WWE, you have to spend $120 to get the full experience with the season pass. Day one, if that's what you want, it's $120. And on top of that, if you want to get into my faction, you got to spend money. If you could grind the mode, yes, but there's incentive to spend additional money post-launch. And NBA, same thing. They want you to buy the special edition to get this, that, or the other because it includes the league pass or whatever, but you're still spending a ton of money. And I can't even find the budget for 2K24 for WWE 2K24. Unfortunately, that information is not on here. Or maybe if I do a little extra digging, I'm trying to look off the top. You know, it's abusive with a lot of games, and the biggest abusers of that ultimately start with NBA 2K. Let me see how much. Let me see if we could see that, because the Cyberpunk was a disaster. Oh. Oh my god. Cyberpunk. I know all you guys know what Cyberpunk is, even if you didn't play it. Cyberpunk, including the DLC and the updates and everything they ended up having to do to fix that game, everything that went into making that game. Cyberpunk cost between $436 million and $441 million. $441 million, almost $500 million for a game that launched with the biggest disaster in gaming history. Almost $500 million for a game that people were begging for their refund back. Let that sink in. Let's see AEW Fight Forever. I'm sure that's out there. Nah, AEW Fight Forever was really cheap. But there's a difference. Hold on. Oh, shit. No, never mind. Oh, shit. So, I don't know how true this is, but AEW Fight Forever ended up being over $100 million. And you want to laugh? The craziest part... Nah, 10 million is super cheap. If you know anything about gaming, 10 million is chump change. It ended up being more than $100 million at the end of the day. No, it wasn't 10 million. It was over 100 million. I just found it. It ended up being over 100 million and they went over budget. But here's the case. That game was made out of Tony Khan's pocket for the most part. Tony Khan, aka what I'm saying is that a person like you or me, just a person that has money, wealthy people, right? He put out of his own pocket. He reached into his pocket and whipped out his cash straight to the freaking development of that game. That is a lot of money for a game that didn't have distribution rights set up in place. They ended up partnering with THQ while they were already developing the game. They ended up partnering up with other developers while the game was already in development, which is what made it hard for everyone to kind of join forces and put a cohesive unit together. 100 mil... bro. 100... That's crazy, bro. For a game that everybody picked up and just criticized. Let me see if the budget for NCAA, if college football came out. I can't see, but I don't know. I can't find it quickly, and I'm not going to really pause for that for that long. But, you know, point being is that that's what I'm referring to. Those are the stats that I'm thinking about. And, you know, circling back to what I was trying to say at the end of it all was that there's a massive balance issue between consumer and creator, or should I say developer. Thank you, RVD. I love you too, man. There's a big balancing issue here. All right. We used to accept whatever they gave us back then. At least my generation did. The modern generation hasn't been the same. What up, Jay? The modern day generation hasn't been the same. You know, I am going back in real time playing old games on an actual old console that I remember loving and enjoying as a kid, and I'm looking at the bugs play out right in front of my face. A game that at that point in time was $60, $70, and there was no update coming to fix that. That doesn't justify the issues at launch with the games that are coming out in this day and age, because just like some of those games had glitches, a lot of other games came out and they were pretty pristine and pretty well put together. So yes, you got to mix it up, guys. It's not one extreme or the other. Don't get lost in the conversation here. So for me, I just feel like it's a damn shame that it costs so much money to put together a video game. You know why? Because now that's the reason why we don't get the variety of video games that I grew up and enjoyed throughout my life playing. I don't know if you could say that the games are garbage. Say whatever you want about the games. I don't care. That's a matter of opinion at the end of the day. Back then, we used to get a movie and there was a game that followed the movie. Loved it. Timeless. It was amazing. Early 2000s, prime years for like 007 video games that were linked to the movies. Hell, even the game that I've enjoyed here, where is it? Where did I put the case? I think I put it away already. Even remember, sometimes the individual disc was broken. And would, oh my God, don't even talk about that, Jalen. Dude, back then, guys, this was an actual issue. Sometimes you would open a game and you would have to take it back to the store because the burn on the disc was glitched. Like, it was legit glitched. It would skip or wouldn't let you do what you had to do. It was legit glitched. But look, this is what WWF Warzone looks like, ladies and gentlemen. This was a $60 game back in the day. I get it. It's from the 90s. I understand that. I understand that 100%. Please don't. I'm not trying to compare that element. I'm saying that this was a game that still costs the same price that these games cost right now. That's all I'm trying to say here. You remember having to take back No Mercy? That's insane, huh? Yeah, you had to get it fixed. Yeah, no, these games were beautiful. These games were fun. These games were exciting. These games were a ton of fun. But it doesn't mean that it wasn't filled with glitches and issues, and it doesn't mean that it didn't cost 60 bucks, you know? Thank goodness for Blockbuster. Oh, yeah. You know how everybody's like desperate and trying to get a game day one? That's what Blockbuster was for back then. The game looked really good for its time. Earlier today, I streamed on the other channel. I was streaming The Matrix. I was playing The Matrix. Look at this. This is The Matrix. This is The Matrix. You know, and this was another game based on a movie series. I got two channels. I have two channels, LexxExpress and LexxExpress Plus. So the balance, bro. You know, life is all about balance, man. It's all about balance. When you're having fun, when you're putting in the work, when you're trying to reach your goals, just everything and anything, hobbies, just everything. I don't have SmackDown versus Raw just yet. I don't have part 1 yet. I don't have that one. There's no balance when it comes to consumers and developers right now. There's a big gap. There's a big gap there. A big, massive gap. And I don't know, honestly, what will it take to close that gap? But $200 million as a starting point for a video game, it's only sustainable for certain games. And you could say, Jalen, what you want about Call of Duty, about them abusing their power, but not ever since they started making a ton of money. Call of Duty stopped abusing their power the moment they released Warzone. And the moment they stopped charging for DLC maps. The moment they started delivering Warzone on a yearly basis for free, and they started giving you DLC maps for free, all you had to do was buy the game, or in Warzone's case, all you had to do was download the update for Warzone. Of course, they're going to try to sell you, you know, they're going to try to sell you in-game currency to buy some cosmetics. Yeah, that's the nature of the business. That's how they operate now. But they're putting it back into their game, and their game is almost $1 billion to make. So, you know, at least that situation is justified. NBA 2K should do the same. They should do the same as Call of Duty. They should make you know, NBA 2K My Team, just the My Team mode. The My Team mode for people that play My Team. They should make that free to play. And update it and not make you buy it every year. They should make that mode free to play because enough people open packs and enough people spend money on that. And on top of that, My Park and My Career, a lot of people spend money on that too. They could even think about doing something there, and they could make you pay for the NBA package to get the full, you know, career experience. But to make you pay an excessive amount of money, and then on top of that charge you another crazy amount of money for microtransaction is wild. And that was put to stop pretty quickly when it came to single player games. All right. When it came to single player games, they tried implementing microtransactions. I know Assassin's Creed tried it. I never bought into it. Assassin's Creed, you could say what you want, but they put a lot of money into their games, and their games are not only beautiful to look at, but except for a few that have had some issues at launch, most of their games are on average 8 to 10 out of 10. I mean, 8 to 10 score out of 10. So, you know, you could bash it and trash the Assassin's Creed series for being boring or being XYZ, but one thing they do really well over there is try to give you bang for your buck. And you gotta also realize another thing that I haven't even mentioned. You want me to tell you what's another thing I haven't even mentioned? A lot of people nowadays want for these creators to make games that are gonna last you more than just a couple months or a couple. You know, the generation that plays games now also enjoys gaming in a different capacity, and they want games that are 20, 50, and 100 hours long. They don't want games that are... Back then, those games that were... Those games back then that used to charge $60 were games that you could beat in about 6 hours or less. It would be about 6 hours, and what made the game longer was the replay value if you really loved it, and you changed the difficulty to put it a little tougher so you could go ahead and make the game a little harder on yourself. But if you played the game in a basic mode, right, which is usually like normal, medium, those games would take you at least 6 hours to beat. 7 hours. 8 hours was like the gold standard. 7 to 10 hours would be a gold standard. Now, if you did, you know, all the little challenges, if you did, you know, some snooping around, depending on the game, and you replayed the levels and you went back, and you could spend a little more than 8 hours on a game, 7 hours. Absolutely. Dude, I used to spend hours on just one mission, and I used to play the shit out of that one mission because I was too freaking out of, like, I wasn't at the proper age to be playing those games. Like, I remember being a kid, like, I don't know what year it came out. I must have been like about 10 years old or less, maybe 8 years old or something. I remember playing Mission Impossible, and I remember not getting past the first 2 missions and doing the same 2 missions, and I used to have a blast. I used to get frustrated when I would get killed or whatever, but I would go around just shooting people and doing a bunch of stupid shit, and I never really beat those games. But I got endless hours from renting it and enjoying that. So, you know, it was a different time for me personally and how I consume games. But if you go back and look at how long games take to beat, I mean, to look up a game that I'm recently, like, I'm just actively playing it. I played it today for about, I think it was about 2 hours that I spent on it today. How long to beat? The Matrix game, Path of Neo. It says that the average playthrough should take about 10 hours to complete it on standard. So about 10 hours. That's a good length. That's all that's all those games had to offer, about 10 hours. But that's also from Ubisoft abusive to the staff, so they lost a lot of good people. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues going on in the game industry. Abuse of power. Hello, Microsoft bought not Call of Duty, but they bought Activision. Immediately got rid of the guy that was running Activision. The complaints that were being brought to light were crazy. Not just abuse of power, but more than that. And it's just mind-blowing. So I love the conversation that we had, by the way. I enjoy it. But yeah, I see you guys talking about Red Dead 2 is the length that people want. Pretty much. People don't feel satisfied with most. I'm talking about the masses. I'm talking about the people that actually comment. I'm not saying that there's nobody that doesn't enjoy a short game. Dude, I myself am one of those people. TNA Impact game sold 1.5 million copies. Let's see. Let's do the math here. 1.5 million times 60 bucks. 1.5 million. Hold on. Hold on. Let's just do 1.5 million times. I think that's like what, 90? I think it came out. I put 1.5 times 60. That's 90. So that should be like what, 9 million or 90 million or some shit. Think about $9 million it made. Is that what it is? How old is the screenshot from the intergender match motion texture? Oh, I don't know, man. I missed the TNA game, bro. It was a great game. I enjoyed it. Let's see how much the game costs. Let me see. TNA Impact game budget. TNA Impact game budget. So that whole ramble on that whole... Oh, yeah, yeah. 90 million. I don't know about the budget. And that's to say that they sold it at $60 a pop. I'm sure they probably... Dude, let me just put this into perspective for those that don't know. The developers of TNA was Midway. They went out of business not long after TNA came out. Oh yeah, racing games. There's tons of racing games. I like how our love for a good wrestling game turned into a discussion in gaming creation in general. Exactly, man. You know, because it is important to discuss these matters, man, because there's a point where you got to hold your opinion at the door real quick and just do a little digging and kind of just look at the landscape. And while I do agree that the prices have gotten abusive with microtransactions in mind, there's a lot of games out there that are very good that a lot of people are not giving the time of day, and people lose their job. And what about those people? There's really nothing to, there's really nothing to say. You could say, oh, make a good game, but there are good games out there. The only games that are making millions and millions of dollars are Fortnite, Call of Duty, some of the Assassin's Creeds, NBA, like sports titles in general tend to make a lot of money. But there's a lot of single player. I mean, bro, listen to this. Spider-Man 2 that came out on PS5. I saw you mention Spider-Man, Jay. Spider-Man 2 that came out on PS5. I know Sony came out and said that they were hoping for more sales. That it came under the sales. What up, Eric? Battlefield 2042 was a disaster. Yeah, Midway was also involved with the Mortal Kombat games. Yeah, and they gave up the rights and all that. Fall Guys still banking? Yeah, that was a free-to-play game. WWE Battleground, that was probably low risk, high reward. That was just a short-term investment. What up, Brandon? How's it going? You bought a PS5 just to play Spider-Man? Now that hip-hop gamers leaks are seemingly true, I'm worried that we aren't getting creative story and universe mode updates. Maybe not, but it doesn't mean that it's not coming. Some didn't give Spider-Man 2 a chance because it was a Sony game mainly. That's why why do you think Sony is now releasing games on PlayStation, folks? They're not making enough money on just the console alone, despite being the #1 console on the planet. Can you let that sink in real quick? Sony decided to sell their games. I would dare even use the word resell, because they're dropping those games after a year or two on PC. They decided to bring those games to PC, port them over. They never did that before, or only some of them did, but they never really did that before consistently. And they're doing that because of how expensive the games have been, and because they haven't made enough money just on PlayStation. No, you're right. Ant, you're right. Close-minded consumers. And look, Ant, That's a very, very shaky conversation, because a lot of people are going to say, well, in my opinion, I don't care to spend 70 on a story game that's going to end after 10, 12, 20 hours. You know, people want to spend more than 15 hours on a game. People want to spend, like, they want to make it a hobby. They want to make it a routine. And if you look at the landscape of gaming, if the game doesn't have that aura where you could stream it and milk it even more, that shit might not get too far. Look at Marvel Rivals, free to play. How everyone is loving and talking about that game. It was free to play. I bet if Marvel Rivals cost money, it would have had an even smaller audience. Have you ever played Peter Jackson's King Kong? Never played that one. Never played that one. People could be also waiting for Spider-Man to go on PS Plus too. A lot of people wait for games to go on subscription service like Game Pass, like PS Plus, or they wait for sales. AEW only sold 30,000 copies. $30,000 copies for AEW Fight Forever. That's 1.8 million.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
It said that the budget went up to like 100 million, but now it might have been gassed. I don't know, but they went way over budget, Kev. $30,000? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we just found out. Shout out to Kev for putting it into the chat. AEW Fight Forever only sold 30,000 copies. Now you know why the DLC never went on sale cheap. Now you know why the game went on PS Plus for free, so they could try to make money off of the DLC. Now you know what's been going on. Dude, I don't think the $100 million post is accurate, but I'm starting to believe that the $10 million post is accurate. And even if it's just 10 million, they still lost over $9 million on that game. Because remember, they don't get the entire $60 price. You got to break off the retail companies. You got to break off the vendors. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw the 10 million, and then I saw on Reddit that it had gone way over budget. I think 10 million is what Tony Khan put in out of his own pocket. But they had to have put more than 10 million into that game. The development of that game was far too long, and they involved way too many people. I don't think 10 million is gonna... I don't think that's enough. Wow. Yo, chat. AEW Fight Forever only sold 30,000 copies. And I know that we're here to talk about 2K25. I know we're here to talk about the new info that we got for the game. But it's time we raise a candle. We've been judging and talking about AEW Fight Forever with the wrong mindset. We've been judging this game like if it was supposed to be the rival, or like if it was supposed to be, well, I mean, not me. I said that I wanted it to be an alternative, but wow. I don't think you guys understand how much money they made. They only made this, and that's not including the DLC, which I'll probably add like another million. Let's say that they add another million to that. They lost so much money. Wow. R.I.P. Tony Khan's wallet. R.I.P. Tony Khan's wallet. Wow. That is some... And you know what I'm saying? And then everybody's like, oh, but 2K doesn't have any competition. 2K doesn't have any other person making a WWE game. There's no other wrestling games out there. There's no other wrestling games in development. There's no other wrestling games in development because AEW, as big of a company as they are, as much money that Tony Khan put into the game, they only made roughly $2 million. Yeah, Jared, we talked about GTA. The budget for GTA is well over $1 billion. Some of us didn't support it based on what everyone at school said. Man, I'll tell you, I bought that game on Xbox. I bought the special edition. I bought the DLC. I bought the game on Nintendo Switch. I streamed it. I did videos on it. I supported it. I was hopeful that they would add stuff. I tried playing online. I tried playing Stadium Stampede. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. It's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's a short game, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad one in my book. I don't think AEW Fight Forever is a bad game. I bought all the DLC, man. And guess what? I didn't buy like a bundle. I bought the entire DLC pass as it came out. I spent well over, what, 150, like $200, I think. I think it was like, those things was like 150, $200. Now, man, you just gassed me out, Kev. Yo, Kev, you gassed me out with that, bro. You gassed me out with that. That shit threw me off the rails. But that adds to my point, man. I'd throw 2K20 under the bus before Fight Forever. Oh, 100%. 100%. You know, it just is what it is, folks. That's the nature of the business. Still willing to buy more if they add Will, Okada, Julia. That's the thing, that I'll buy the other ones if they drop them as well. You played it for free, yep. If they get promos and extra action in universe mode, I will be happy, as it's my kind of mode, my GM and the I think Ricky, guys, I think we're in for a treat this year. Credit to where credit is due. The gameplay is fun, especially the chain style wrestling. It was great. Yeah, it was. The business is corrupted. Tell that to Tony Khan. Tony Khan, this is what Tony Khan got back for AEW Fight Forever. They sold 30,000 copies. And spent well over $10 million. Well over. There was even a post that I saw for $100 million. They made barely $2 million back. I really wanted Stadium Stampede to become a thing, bro. I really liked Tony Khan got conned. The career modes, I like the career mode. I thought the career mode was pretty creative. They made it so you could go back and play it again, and I lost 8 or 98 million. Yeah, around there, Straight Edge. Yeah, he lost either or. We don't know which one is just, accurate, but I'll say that he lost well over $10 million. Just because of the fact that he went way over budget. I think $10 million was the starting point as to like, all right, this is how much I'm giving you guys to make a game. Go make a game. Is AEW Fight Forever officially done with? We're not sure, actually. We're not sure. What we are sure is that we are on our way to 15K, man. We're on our way to 15K. If you guys haven't hit that sub button and you love wrestling, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on another stream or video. Welcome to the channel, everyone that has been commenting, dropping likes, and I hope you have enjoyed the stream. If there's any new viewer lurking, come on, let's hit that sub train, man. Let's hit that sub train. AEW is a new WCW. I wouldn't go that far. They haven't even reached that level. Are wrestling games that expensive? I know WWE 2K for sure. Let's see. I'm going to look up to see how much WWE 2k25 costs. Let's see if we can find the budget for that one. Damn, no one really has it at the... They got that close to their chest, man. That hasn't really leaked. Somebody said that they would guess about $100 million. I think it's probably a little more than that. I saw the recent teaser, Death. Yeah, we talked about it at the start of the stream. But yeah, if you guys just tuned in, they tweeted out about intergender wrestling yesterday. And then they also tweeted out about the showcase teasing the bloodline. So we got a Liv Morgan possible featured cover. We got intergender wrestling. And we have the bloodline showcase. That is all that has been revealed through teasers and promo. And we also found out that we're going to get Oba Femi, Ethan Page, and some other superstars, of course. But those are the ones that have been coming out in these little teasers that they've been putting across social media. Tony D'Angelo's the new North American champion. That's what's up. They're usually DLC the first year back. Yeah, that's why I think it'll be a Goldberg. Because I think they get a larger royalty cut. You're right, Ender. That is, they got to get rescanned and stuff, I believe. When they get rescanned, they get paid big time. What up, OTC? How's it going? I didn't even catch on at first with the intergender tease. Yeah, bro. Insane. Where did you hear that about the AEW financials? They sold 30,000 units. 30,000 units. If you do 30,000 times $60, that's how you get that number. Which might be even less because they probably sold on sale and stuff. Did you see the leak? It says different cover star. Instead of Roman, it's got new molds, new roster members, and moves. I haven't seen any other leaks. Can't wait to get Victoria back. She's probably gonna be DLC. Yeah, exactly. I mean, she could be on disc, but like Ender said, it's probably so they can make some more cheddar. Maybe AEW just doesn't have the funds to make a blowout game. No, they don't have the funds to push, you know, the engine and the game to that next level, I guess. I guess that's what it is, right? I think that's what it is. I would guess that's what happened. Right? Yo, shout out to whoever subscribed. We just gained a new subscriber. I see it. The notification didn't pop out because it's hidden, but I see we just gained a new subscriber. Thank you. Seems to be that way. Yep. If Ichiro's an MLB 25, I'm hyped. That'll be nice. Do you think it would include the other members of the family, like the Wild Samoans, Rosie, and other original bloodlines? Maybe not in the story mode, but I think that this year would be a good year to add the other members. You're right. Adding them this year would be valid. More than ever if they do a bloodline edition. They already have Umaga in the game. They already have Rikishi in the game. You know, you got the Usos. You got Roman. Hopefully Tama Tonga, Loa, Jacob Fatu. You got The Rock, Nia Jax, Naomi. I mean, you got a lot of family members in there. So adding some extra Yokozuna, exactly. You know, so adding some extra members from that family wouldn't be a bad idea. The Wild Samoans come to mind when I'm thinking about that. So that would be cool. You know, I don't want to sit here guys, I don't want to sit here and justify bullshit strategies. Okay, I'm gonna call it how it is. I don't want to justify bullshit. Zillafatu, nah, he'll probably be in a year or so. I don't want to justify any of the stuff that all of us can agree on that we don't like. I think that's obvious, and that's stating the obvious. We need to find a healthy middle ground. And I don't know what that looks like. I honestly don't have the answer for the resolution. I don't have the code. I don't have the cheat code. I don't have that, I can't tell you what the secret recipe would be. I don't know what that sauce is looking like. But it's not just a WWE issue. It's an overall landscape and gaming issue. And I think a lot of studios are cutting back and looking at what's been going on to get a better feel as to how to approach this going forward. I do think if they're a champion, it should be on the disc. Penta got a top tier entrance, you're right. Now, I do want to say this, guys. I feel like it's not accurate to say that the developers of this specific game don't care about wrestling. I think it's actually comical and funny to sit here and say with a straight face, like, maybe for you guys commenting, it's easier for you to say that. But for me, as not just as a person, a AAA game requires a lot of people. So I understand that certain people are not tapped into the idea of, oh, I love wrestling, I live and bleed wrestling, right? Not every single person in that room is going to be a diehard wrestling fanatic, but they are diehard gamers because that's what got them through school and development to create something special in whatever avenue they're working in. So they are passionate about the game, but they may not be passionate about wrestling. But those are the people that you don't really focus on and talk about because those are the ones that do the coding. Like, I can't sit here and say, oh, the guy that does the network engineering doesn't care about wrestling because the servers suck. His job is literally to make sure that the servers can run and that the servers are functioning and that they, that people can download updates and do the community creation stuff. That's that job. So that person doesn't need to be a wrestling diehard. Now, Lionel Jinx, the creative director, is a fan of wrestling. Dare I say, a big fan of wrestling. Now, Brian Williams, big fan of wrestling. And so many other developers within that field, whether it's the designers of the characters or some of the people from the presentation team, like, creative directors and producers are the ones that should be diehard wrestling fans. And they are the ones that are pretty much shaping the game for it to be however it ends up being. So, that's what matters most. He has even tried to mocap and learn moves. That's crazy. There's no way that Ace just came in here saying that Jey Uso confirmed the showcase when we've been talking about that since the beginning of the stream. I don't know. Speak on that. I hate when people in the community say that. Yeah. Like, look, I'm not saying that there's, again, someone on the team that doesn't watch wrestling. Of course. That's without being said. They probably watched wrestling when they were kids. Who knows? But more importantly, their job title doesn't consist of them needing to be knowledgeable on wrestling, but more knowledgeable on what they're working on. Dude, I even had it set up here. Like, I don't understand how you just come in here saying... You were actually in here when I showed this screenshot talking about Jey Uso doing the showcase tease. Did I watch Dank Ops or Brandon does everything's first match? I didn't watch... Now, I don't watch indie wrestling like that. I did hear about that. I know Straight Edge is really tapped into all that, and I've seen a couple clips that people have shared, but I didn't see the full match or anything like that. Now, I will say that it's cool that they're learning and they're, you know, doing the business that, you know, got them to where they got to, and they're big wrestling fans like all of us, so it's cool to see them actually train and chase their dreams if that's really what they want to do. But for me, as much as I enjoy seeing that, I don't really have any interest. I watch WWE, AEW, and TNA, and that's as far as I go. And then I'll see some clips that people post from GCW, New Japan, and other spots. But I don't really go and watch every single wrestling I possibly can because, you know, with time being so limited as to how I spend it, I gotta, you know, make sure that... Because if I watch all these other brands, I'd be watching wrestling all day and I'd never do anything else. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they're doing it. That's my opinion. How are they motion capture intergender matches? It'll probably be the same. You weren't paying attention, I could tell. Nia Jax versus Chad Gable? Nah, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm one of those that don't care for intergender wrestling, but I'm not going to sit here doing a video saying, oh, they shouldn't have done intergender wrestling. Ace was busy sitting, shitting on the big city, exactly. Did you see PCO destroy the title? I did see that. He's a fool, man. As old as he is, he's an egomaniac. Probably play it once. Yeah, like, I'll probably use it for, like, videos and conversations and discussions and things like that, but that is literally the last thing I'm thinking about and considering doing when it comes to the video game. Like, yeah. But I'm not gonna sit here and bash it. Like, I know people are feeling like, oh yeah, you know, they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do that. I hate it. I don't care for intergender, but I'm not gonna do it. Maybe next year we get an AJ showcase. That would be cool, man. That would be really cool. Couple TNA matches, man. We can hope, but they should add Abyss to the game though. PCO probably thinks WWE is poaching TNA talent. That's what you said, Ace. That's what you said about WWE. Look at you now. Riddle is world champion. That's so cool to see, man. I like Riddle. I like it for the purpose of not being instant DQ'd in situations. True. Intergender matches would have been low on my list of match types I wanted to see added. I don't even have it on any list. Why do you think Nemeth lost to Joe Hendry? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Joe Hendry, man. He's that guy. Nemeth knows what's going to happen. What we need is a Randy Orton showcase. I have one. Yeah, that'll be cool. I'll do Rom versus Dom. Yeah, I think we all got to do Rhea. I said Rom versus Dom. Rhea versus Dom. I think we'll all be doing that one at least once. Like, if you're a female manager, if you pick up your client and they counter the grapple DQ. Yes. Is City confirmed? Not yet. Not yet, GTA. Not yet. The City is still pure speculation at this point, but it seems like it might be. Might be happening. Hendry, I think, is going to come out at the Rumble with the belt. Nemeth didn't want to go back to NXT. Well, he said that he's done that, been there, done that. Jordan Grace was saying there will be an Ultimate X match at WrestleMania, so I'm thinking it will be tag champions with Motor City Machine Gun. If they do that at WrestleMania, that'll be insane because that Ultimate X match is crazy. I want to know too. Dude is just talking. Well, look. So far, Hip Hop Gamer is 2 for 2 with the announcements. Bloodline Showcase and Intergender. Imagine if Nemeth said that he wanted to go to NXT, Joe Hendry would have lost again. Nah. I can't imagine that because Joe Hendry is part of the new era of TNA, even if he leaves to WWE down the road. So putting the belt on him felt right. You know what would have been fun, Lex? Different ways to escape Royal Rumble. Like Kofi. Oh, yeah, like Kofi's jump and the stuff he did. Yeah, like different stunts. True. How smooth is 25 going to be with gameplay? I mean, it's been consistent. I will go ahead and say that I think it'll definitely be as consistent and even better than we've seen. Hendry won because he's popular, you think, Straight Edge? That's why when he said that he wanted no part of the partnership, I knew he was losing. Oh, man. I want a Christian Cage 2K cover. You know that's never coming. You're going to have to download your own. Joe Hendry was getting that belt no matter what. He is way too over with the crowd. Way too over. Dusty ass Hogan. How about Monday Night Raw? We haven't even talked about Monday Night Raw. What a good show. I'm going to watch your streams when 2K25 comes out. Man, I'm going to be streaming 2K25. Not just the retro rewinds, but we're going to do so much 2K25 on the channel. It's going to be crazy. Like, I know right now we're just discussing and reviewing and predicting, but that's because we're on that hype train for 2K25. But when 2K25 comes out, the anticipation for the game is done and the hype begins for the gameplay. And if the servers are good, you better believe that we're bringing back LWF bigger and better for sure. LWF, for those that don't know, is the online league that I run on here called LexxoVerse Wrestling Federation. If the servers are good, we're getting LWF back. Prediction on release date, same as before, first week of March. So if I'm looking at March, I would say that the special edition will come out March 4th, which is a Tuesday, and then the other one on Friday, March 7th. Do you think 2K leaves Last Gen behind? No. Last Gen is still coming out. Chain Wrestling needs to make a return. I don't think that's the end all be all, but I know a lot of you have been asking for it, so I hope for your sake it does. Penta versus Dunn was great. The CM Punk promo was great. Gunther versus Jey Uso promo was great. The Sami Zayn Kevin Owens promo was spectacular. The main event match, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, was freaking awesome. The ending with Sami Zayn coming out was dope. I mean, so much stuff there. The interaction between Sheamus and Braun Breaker. I could go and list everything, man. I loved it. Monday Night Raw was really good yesterday. I've been here since I found your channel in 22 for 2K22. I'm an honorary ooze down since 22. I acknowledge you as my tribal chief. Thank you, Ghost. Thank you.
Acknowledge me.
I appreciate that, man. I love AEW. They legit. AEW is legit, man. AEW is good, man. You're going to get bang for your buck when you go to their shows. They put on good wrestling matches. They may not have the best stories, and that's understandable, depending on who you ask and what they like. But AEW is definitely a really fun product to enjoy, and I just don't know why people hate on it. That tribal stuff is dumb, in my opinion. I do see the difference between both AEW and WWE. That's obvious, but I still think that AEW is a lot of fun, and there's room for AEW and more. I didn't see NXT tonight, no. Is Samantha still in? I'm pretty sure she's still going to be in. I said when 2K leaves Last Gen behind, do you see us getting a new commentary team? Good question, Tristan. My bad. I didn't read it right. I think we will see a new commentary team in the near future. Not this year. Britt Baker in the doghouse. Man, she out. WrestlePure says Seth Rollins is the odds favorite to win the Rumble. That wouldn't be bad. You wish MJF came to WWE? Well, I think MJF is going to probably come down the road. What I do wish is for more people to subscribe, man. We're at 14,345. We are almost at the 50 marker. Let's hit that sub train, man. We're trying to get to 14,400 and beyond. We're trying to get to 15K ASAP. Shout out to everyone that has been chatting it up, man. We just gained a new subscriber. We got to 46 now. I see you. I feel you, man. Let's go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Miz versus MJF, that would be crazy, right? Just subbed. Welcome to the channel, GTA. If there's any wrestling fan, you love wrestling, you love talking wrestling, you love wrestling video games, I think this is the place for you. I was just showing this earlier for those that weren't here. Look at this old wrestling game. Not this one. This is actually The Matrix. I already showed you guys that clip. But let me show you this this wrestling game. Look at this, how funny, guys. This was after winning the challenge. Look at this cutscene. What is this, man? This isn't a wrestling game. She gave me a card saying good luck because I was having my title match. This is part of the challenge mode in WWF Warzone. And then Goldust went ahead and cut a promo on me. What is that, bro? That was literally WWF Warzone, and I don't want you guys to get the whole game spoiled because I'm going to be showing that live on stream, but, you know, you could expect some of that. Some of that and more. Look at Mankind versus Stone Cold, man. Goldust is zesty? Yeah, he is. He is. When it comes to new match types, I'm going to name you 3 new ones and list one likely to unlikely. Strap match, Iron Survivor, Bull Rope. Hey, if they do strap match, they could do Bull Rope, but that would be cool. Just imagine if Rockstar made the WWE wrestling games, we would only get one every 5 years. Oh, Kev, we'd barely get it for real. That's not PG? Nah. Hopefully next week we'll get a trailer. Oh, indeed, Curtis. We're definitely getting a trailer. We're getting a trailer next week. We're getting the cover reveal. We're going to see a lot of stuff next week. And we're going to be talking about it, discussing it, and of course covering it on the channel. They confirmed Britt Baker was sleeping with Christian Cage? What? Who confirmed that? What are you talking about? Where are these allegations coming from? Seriously. What are you talking about? That's crazy, straight edge. Do you think Jeff Jarrett will win the AEW World title? Hell no. I doubt that. Exactly. Bloodline Showcase would be cool, but it would be missing big parts. Well, it'll have all the Bloodline stuff. It'll have Roman stuff. You know, it'll have more of the recent stuff. When Baker and Cole moved out, there were reports of Baker flirting with Cage backstage. Really? What do you think is going to come with the pre-order bonus? Ooh, good question. Probably the alternate attire for The Rock and something like that. I'm glad Adam Cole's... Wait, what? So yeah, man, we're going to be playing a lot of wrestling games on here. So flirting equals sleeping? Nah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. You think we're going to get intergender matches? I mean, that's what this tweet is indicating, right? That we're going to get intergender matches? That's what it seems like. That's what I think. That probably came from those kayfabe websites. I wouldn't believe that. Yeah, I don't think so. Be cool if they added tribal combat. Oh, man, I would love if they had tribal combat. Oh, tribal combat could be part of the showcase. Jada and Jay was proven false. Yeah, so much garbage online, man. That video was real, but he's not even in it. Are you happy to see Obafemi's entrance in the music? I love Obafemi, man, so I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to be like, dung, dung, bang, bang, taka, 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 dung, dung, dung. He was touching her leg in the party. Grayson Waller was there. WWE not taking Britt, she a bully. Oh, man. Yo. What do you guys want in 2K25 that'll make you happy? Just one thing that you want to see in 2K25, chat. You know I do this every other stream or every stream. I want to see what you guys have to say. I want everyone that's here to chat it up. One thing you want to see in 2K25. And I'm going to give you guys a shout out while I read your reply. Good open world. I think the open world will be limited, but it'll be fun. I think it'll be a fun open world. All right, so let's start with Taco. Taco said... Oh, wait, he said Iron Survivor I could see or Heritage Cup should be there. All right, let's read. Let's read what everybody's saying so I don't get behind. Taco says good servers. That's a good one. I agree. Sammy says good servers. I agree. A good universe mode update. Ant. I agree. The Bushwhackers. Okay, Rob. Chris says Iron Survivor. Steven says better servers. All I play is online. A says just fix the universe mode. That's all I ask, man. All right. Golden Star says better selling. Different selling moves. Nobody takes moves the same. You're right. I'm not going to read that. No image error or risk of save data loss. Ender. That's a big one, but I think that's still going to be there. Just because they can't control what people upload. Remove the grappling to do everything. Wait, what? Removing the grapple to do everything BS and give us at least 2k14 controls. Okay. Okay, Dark. I want to create a story in universe. Okay, Jared. Underground match. That underground match will be fun, Kev. My race characters as playable characters. Ooh. After you grind it out, you want to see your characters. Okay. I want the 20 people battle royale elimination with everyone in the ring. Okay, Taryn. That's a good one. Create a story, GTA says. Alright. Road to WrestleMania, Sean says. Hi says. New campaign, career mode, or season, not a story mode. My rights thing? Okay. Not everyone. Oh, never mind. Fixed ladder matches. Ladder matches. Alright. What about update AJ Styles? Yeah, they're going to update him. The Fall of Greece. It's my favorite finisher move. Okay. 3 stages of hell. LexxExpress and Friends pack. Alright. So for me, I'll start with better servers. I'd be lying if I didn't start with better servers. Better servers opens the door for a league, which I want to do on here. Better servers opens the door to creative modes like a free roam city. Better servers opens the door to a major update in my GM, involving people, connecting, and having fun with that. So, outside of better servers, I just want them to add new stuff. Innovative stuff. That's what I want. Guys, tomorrow I'm dropping a video talking about how I feel about the showcase mode. You already know I'm looking forward to it, but I'm going to go deeper into that conversation. It's going to drop around noon, 12 p.m. Eastern time. It'll drop around noon. I hope you guys check that video out so we can continue the discussion. I will definitely be putting that out in the morning, just as noon hits the time, the clock rather. And I hope we get some more updates. If we do, you already know I'll be back with an emergency stream. But if not, I should be streaming. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I got the video dropping. I should be streaming Thursday. And remember, we're going to be doing... I'm dropping a video tomorrow. Yeah, I am. And then on Saturday, we're going to be watching Saturday night's main event over at LexxExpress Plus. LexxExpress Plus is where we're going to be watching Saturday night's main event. We're going to be reacting and reviewing the show live. So be sure to you guys hit that subscribe button. And yeah, man, I cannot wait till next week. We are on the verge of getting some groundbreaking information. And we're going to be talking about that like there's no tomorrow, man. So till then, I'm going to sign off tonight. I appreciate each and every comment and conversation we've had, man. I love the discussions. I love the back and forth. And yeah, cheers to a great year in 2K25. Good night, good morning, good afternoon. Rest easy and take care.
LexxExpress is calling, shaping every view. Subscribe and join the legend, let's see what you'll do.
Every comment's welcome, every like's a cheer. Your opinions light the way, there's nothing you should fear.
Share your thoughts and insights, let your voices grow. With Lex by your side, the universe will glow. Hit that button, oh so bright, in this digital night. LexxExpress is here to guide us with an epic light. Comment, share, and let it out in the world so vast. Be a part of something stronger, make the moments last. See the world from angles never seen before. Through the eyes of LexxEx vision, open every door. From the screen to your mind, transcend the mundane. Stand and rise with LexxExpress, break every chain.
In every frame, a story that's waiting to be told.
In every voice, a power precious like pure gold. So subscribe and join the journey to the great unknown. With LexxExpress, we'll build a world we truly own. Hit that button, oh so bright, in this digital night. LexxExpress is here to guide us with an epic light. Come and share and let it out in the world so vast. Be a part of something stronger, make the moments last. Another frame, a story that's waiting to be told. In every voice, a power precious like pure gold. So subscribe and join the journey to the great unknown. With LexxExpress, we'll build a world we truly own. Hit that button, oh so bright, in this digital night. LexxExpress is here to guide us with an epic light.